Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Alright, I need you to picture something. So, you wanted to go for something, maybe like a job, and before you even took a step, you already talked yourself out of it. Like something in your head just keeps saying, this is not for you, or you're not even ready. If that has ever happened to you, what you experience is not logic or wisdom. It is limiting belief, and that's exactly what we're going to be talking about today. Now, first thing first, we need to understand what limiting belief is. It is simply a story you once told yourself, and at the long run, you started treating it like a fact. It sounds like people like me can't do this. I'm not even that brilliant. That's exactly what limiting belief is. Now, I need you to know that these things are just opinions, but because we've repeated them in our heads a lot of time, we start treating them like truth. And the funniest part of this whole thing is that this whole thing starts very, very early. I mean, as a kid, we absorb anything that people tell us, maybe from outsiders or from our parents. Whatever they say, we absorb it. I remember when I was in GSS 1 or 2 then, and that particular day, a teacher came to class and we were making noise, right? So the teacher was like, somebody should stand up and write the names of noisemakers. So I took a pen and a paper and I did. So when I wrote the name of the noisemakers, the teacher finally came back and he asked for the names of the noisemakers, and then I gave him the list. Only for a girl to stand up after the teacher left the class and said, is it somebody like you that used to write noisemakers? And this person knows me very well. Like, we were neighbors at some point. We were even church members at the time. When she said that to me that day, it got to me and I was like, somebody like me is not supposed to write noisemaker. Do you know that that little statement stuck up in my head for a very long time? To the point that it was when I got to SS2, they asked me to become a class captain. I refused because that word she said that it was still ringing in my head like, I'm not the type that should do it. Until sometime, I think it was a church program, that one pastor mentioned it, that sometimes we can do some things, but because somebody has said this to us, we feel like, oh, we can't do it, we can't do this, and because of that, we choose to like pause our life and not do things that we're supposed to do. It was that day, those words, that make me to remember what she said, and ever since then, I've tried not to live with those words again. I used to pray to God, and I've taken some steps without even minding those things. Limiting belief looks like procrastination. You keep putting off starting because somewhere deep down, you don't think it will work. Now, how to fix these limiting beliefs? Number one thing you should do is to seek help from God. Pray to God to help you, to help your heart. Because no matter how we try to do some routine, without God's help, it's more like we're just doing it. So we need to rely on God for help. Now, another thing you can do is to change your environment. Like, if you feel like these things are happening to you because of the people around, like what they are saying, you just need to stop saying those people. I mean, just like my story, this girl, before I could take on responsibilities then, it was when she was no longer attending our church at the time and we were no longer neighbors. So you need to change your environment. Another thing you can do is have conversations that you've been avoiding. Tell people exactly what you want, what you feel. Say it the way it is. These beliefs falls apart when you speak them to the world. Another thing you can do is to watch how you speak about yourself in casual conversations. Something like, I'm not so good with managing money. I'm very terrible when it comes to doing this particular thing. Watch those things. Stop saying or stop speaking negative things about yourself. Stop saying negative things about yourself. Now, lastly, put yourself in rooms that makes you feel behind. Being around people that have gone far ahead of you stops the goal from being fictional to something achievable. And with that, we have come to the end of today's episode of self-development, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.